Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, it says, "Be of sober spirit, be on the alert. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour." I wonder if maybe sometimes we forget this truth. It might just be that as we get caught up in our day-to-day activities, maybe we get into the routine of just waking up and going back to sleep at night, going to work or going to school, whatever we might be involved in. It might be that this whole idea that there is an enemy out there that's really trying to destroy our relationship with God and trying to destroy the influence that we have with others based on our relationship with God. I'm sure oftentimes we forget about that. It's not really something that we conscientiously think about. It's not that we don't know, it's just that we don't really think about it that often. And it might be that we fall susceptible to much of the schemes of the devil because of that, because we're not really being watchful and being prepared to engage the enemy. In our reading today in 2 Chronicles chapter 32, we have Hezekiah being prepared for Sennacherib from Assyria. He knew that he was coming. He knew that eventually he would make it to Jerusalem. And so Hezekiah prepares to meet him or prepares for his coming. And so he does several things. He dries up a lot of the water that was in the surrounding area of Jerusalem. He said, why should Assyria come and have plenty to drink? So he dried up much of the streams and water supplies outside of Jerusalem. But he also built towers. He built a second wall around Jerusalem for further protection. He strengthened the Milo. He also prepared the soldiers with shields and different types of instruments of war. He was prepared to meet the enemy. And not only that, not only was he prepared physically for when Sennacherib would come, but he was also prepared spiritually as well. And he plays a part in preparing the rest of the people to be prepared spiritually. For he says in verse 7, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be dismayed because of the king of Assyria, nor because of all the horde that is with him. For the one who is with us is greater than the one with him. With him is only an arm of flesh, but with us is the Lord our God to help us and to fight our battles." And the people relied on the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. So he was prepared spiritually by exercising faith in the situation. And that was the most important element. He said, hey, this king of Assyria is coming, but he says, the one who's with us, that is God who is with us, is much better than those who are with the king of Assyria. And not only that he only has an arm of flesh, but we have the Lord our God on our side to help us and to fight our battles. And so he exercised faith as well. So he had basically two things going on. Outwardly, he made preparations. He did the things that were needful to prepare for the coming of the king of Assyria against Jerusalem. But secondly, he also prepared inwardly by exercising faith in the Lord his God. And I would say those are the two ways that we prepare for this roaring lion, Satan, who would come and try to devour us. That is, outwardly, we should do things that we can do to prepare for the day of battle. It might be engaging in the spiritual disciplines, reading the Word of God, listening to music that puts our mind in a spiritual mindset. It could be putting away certain things that distract us or get us off course. It could be shutting down our phones for the day or for a particular point of time. It might be making sure that we get enough sleep at night so that we won't be cranky the next day or susceptible to being overly emotional and things like that. Or it might also include us exercising, eating right so that we physically feel better, so that we would be less susceptible to certain temptations. It could be a lot of things, but just basically getting our environment right to prepare for and to be prepared for anytime that enemy would come and try to attack us. And we can usually tell what things the enemy typically uses to get to us. And we can either put those things away or put up things, barriers to keep those things from being means of influence on us. And again, by getting these outward things in order and prepared for the time when the enemy would come, it will help us out tremendously. But more importantly than that, as was the case with Hezekiah, it's what's going on inwardly that's really going to help. That is exercising faith in the Lord, knowing that it's in the strength of His might that we engage in the battle. And so keeping a prayerful mind state, keeping in close contact with the Lord, communion with the Lord, staying as near to the Lord as we possibly can, keeping Him in the forefront of our minds, that's going to protect us in the day of battle. And especially if we're holding on to the Lord by faith and not just drawing close to Him by praying to Him a lot, which is important, but also in recognizing that and having faith in the fact that the God that we serve is strong and mighty, and that any tool that the enemy might try to use to come up against us pales in comparison to the mighty arm of the Lord that's on our side. And so these are two things that we can do to prepare for the day of battle. It's not if the enemy is going to come after us, it's just a matter of when the enemy is going to come and try to attack us. But we can prepare in these two ways, by getting our environment in order and prepared for the day of battle, but even more importantly, getting our inward self prepared by exercising faith and drawing close to the Lord. So with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. I hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.